gentlemen, welcome to my Week 15 NFL predictions. I'm actually making this intro after I made the entire video because I forgot to make the intro. I don't even know how that happens. Anyway, last week I'm coming off of a pathetic 7-7 record, bringing my season total to 130, 77, and 1. Plug of the day, as always, is Prize Picks. Don't forget to use code WyattzWorld at sign up to guarantee yourself to win a free $50 with your first $5 entry. However, as always, you know the drill. Please remember to play responsibly, and let's get into the video. Okay, so kicking off with Thursday Night Football this week, we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm going to take the favorites, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, to win this game. I'll say they win this game 24-17. I expect them to treat this like a playoff game. I also expect Atlanta, to try and be a home wrecker here. But when reality kicks in, Atlanta's just a shitty football team. They have a shitty run team. Yes, Tampa Bay just fell flat on their faces against one of the league's worst. But luckily for them this week, they're going to have a chance to play another one of the league's worst. And I think they'll get right this time. Atlanta, you're going down just like you've been going down for the last decade. Bringing us to Sunday, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Chicago Bears. What shocks me about this is actually one of the most expensive games to go to of the week, and it has me believing that Shedeur Sanders is part of that. People want to see him. That being said, I am going to side with Chicago here. I think they will bounce back, get a win, and I don't think it's going to be that close of a game either. I expect them to win pretty convincingly. I'm going to say 21-10. As much as I support Shedeur and believe that he will be able to do something this game, I do believe he is going to make mistakes. Chicago's got the sticky secondary. They've got the pressure. I'm expecting to see the rookie quarterback look like a rookie quarterback. However, if Caleb Williams goes out there and sucks again, they're going to be in some trouble here because Myles Garrett's going for the record. He has never had more motivation to try and kill a quarterback than he does right now. Now we've got Baltimore at Cincinnati. Man, I feel like we just saw this game like 2 weeks ago because I think we literally did. I'm going to take Cincinnati to win this game. I'm going to go 31-24. I expect it to be entertaining. It's a divisional game, a rivalry game. Both of these teams, shockingly, are still alive at this point. But sadly for Baltimore, they just haven't looked convincing. Lamar Jackson hasn't looked convincing, especially with being on the road and Burrow, looking so good for 3/4 of the game last week. I think Cincinnati's going to have their number. Shocking info about this game, though. You can go to this for $32. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson for $32. That's like the WWE selling John Cena and The Undertaker for $32. What? Now we've got the Chargers at the Chiefs. I guess I'll take the Chargers. I think this game is going to be very boring. I'm not going to lie. I'll take the Chargers to win 17-14. Look, the thing about this is I'm not very convinced in Justin Herbert at the moment. He is clearly hurt. His left hand is clearly bothering him. While the Chiefs, on the other hand, obviously need to win. They're playing at home, but they have also been playing like absolute shit recently. Never thought I'd say this about Kansas City, but like they truly kind of look deflated for once. They look defeated. They look like they're almost willingly about to just fall on the sword. The worst thing the Chargers could do right now for not only themselves but the NFL is go out there, throw up a stinker, and get their asses kicked. Now we've got Buffalo at New England, and for fuck's sake, man. Listen, I'm not saying this to hype myself up. I'm saying this because I truly believe it. I think the Bills are going to win this one. I think it'll be 28-23. It'll be entertaining. It'll be close the whole time. But the Bills will get the upper hand and trade with New England, evening out the series and making the rest of the year in that division very interesting. Listen, the Bills team is just, they're starting to thrive. They're starting to cook. The defense is coming alive. They have the second best pass defense in the league. They have the number 2 overall offense. Josh Allen is starting to play like the Winter Soldier again. Extending plays, turning nothing into something. The momentum is definitely with Buffalo. I'm not trying to discourage New England at all right now. I would argue them as one of the best teams in the league. They kicked our ass last time, but I think the Bills are more in tune, more in sync. They're going to have a better game plan, and this time they will put the Patriots down. Now we've got the Commanders at the Giants. I'll take the Giants 21-10. It is going to be boring, but at this point, I honestly think the Giants have more of a spark than the Commanders. I think they have a better roster. The Washington Commanders also, by the way, are just literally incapable of having back-to-back successful seasons. I mean, dude, this shit dates back into the 90s. 99, they finished in first. Then they dropped to 3rd place in the division and didn't make a playoff game until 2005, where they would go 10-6, drop to 5-11, bounce back with a 9-7 wildcard appearance, then finish in last place for 4 fucking years in a row, then bouncing back with a 10-6 season in 2012, going back to dead last for 2 more years, jumping back to first place in 2015, then dropping to 3rd and 4th place, then coming back to first place in 2020, then going back to 3rd and 4th place, then last year winning 12 games, making the fucking NFC Championship, and this year again back to 3-10. They might actually be cursed.
Hey WyattzWorld junkies, it's the Fossil coming to you from the cave with another pick. Last week the Bears let me down and Green Bay beat them. God, I hate those Packers. But they got lucky and they beat the Bears, so I am now 12-2. Gotta get busy this week. There's 2 different games that feature 2 teams that I haven't picked, so I'm gonna pick them both. We'll start with the first one, Washington against the Giants. This one is in New York. 2 teams with really poor defenses, especially against the run, and mediocre at best offenses. I don't know if Daniels is gonna play or not. Mariota would play. I don't think it makes much difference. I think Dart actually goes into this game and plays well at home for the Giants. I think the Giants go ahead and beat Washington in this game 23-16. I'll see you junkies in a minute with another pick.
Now we've got the Vegas Raiders at the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles to win this 22-7. Ashton Jenney will have 25 carries for 26 yards. Bowers will have 1 reception for 7 yards and a touchdown. Jalen Hurts will throw 14 for 16 for 108 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a rushing touchdown. And Nick Sirianni will act like he won the Super Bowl after this fucking horrible game. That'll bring us to the Jets at the Jags. I mean, you gotta roll with the Jags here. Not sure if Tyrod's gonna play for the Jets. I really don't think it fucking matters. Basically, at this point, you just watch the Jets to see if their special teams can keep them in the game. Which I think, by the way, fantasy, if you have their defense, it would count as special teams, so that's kind of a risk you could take. But seriously, if their special team doesn't show up, this team is just completely fucked. I don't know if I gave a score here. We'll go Jacksonville 26, Jets 13. Now we've got Arizona at Houston. I got Houston here 20-10. They're kind of a weird team, man. They got an absolute wall of a defense that I think will absolutely make Jacoby Brissett miserable for 3 hours straight. But they also have an offense that's just, it's really not explosive, like at all. But also having an explosive offense isn't necessary when all you need is 20 points to beat your opponent every single week because your defense won't allow fucking more than that. I feel bad saying this about the Texans because, like, I don't mean it, but I do. Like, they're boring. They're a boring team, but also they're not. Like, when I watch a Texans game, I feel like majority of the time I'm staring at the screen like this, but it's entertaining at the same time. Yeah, they're an odd group. They're like the weird guy at your job that eats lunch by himself every day, but shows up at the company party and his wife is like a smoke show. They're fucked. Now we got the Packers at Denver. Highest price for a game here. Tickets are $296, and rightfully so. This is going to be an entertaining game. Interesting game at that, too. I think I'm going to roll with Denver. This is close. This is a coin flip. Green Bay is technically the favorite. Just with how Denver's defense has been playing, I just don't see Jordan Love having the success he's had in recent weeks where he's just dotting up 3-4 touchdowns a game. I see Green Bay's passing being limited enough to where they're going to have to try and run the ball, and that's not going to work either. I see multiple possessions of just trial and error, and I think by the time Green Bay actually figures out what it's going to take to get down and score on Denver, it's going to be too late. The Denver Broncos are a lot like the Texans, if you ask me. I'm not ever thrilled or blown away watching them, but they're an interesting team to watch. The only major flaw I see in Denver is that they like to play to their opponents, and I don't know why. It doesn't matter if they played the Titans or the Rams, the game will be within a score every single fucking time. Now we've got the Lions at the Rams. Also, the fact that this game is only $150 to attend, that blows me away. I would be there instantaneously. Anyway, I'm actually going to take Detroit here. Dude, they've had the Rams number the last 2 times they've played them. The games are within like fucking 3 points every time they play, but Detroit ultimately ends up winning. And now, why is that, do you ask? Well, if I have to be honest, I think part of it has to do with the fact that Dan Campbell is the one coach in the league who has bigger balls than Sean McVay. These are 2 aggressive coaches. These 2 love to throw haymakers. Jared Goff and Matt Stafford obviously just have a ton of histories with each other's teams. I think no matter what, we're in for a movie because statistically it always has been recently, at least when these 2 quarterbacks have been on the other teams. But much like McVay and Shanahan, Campbell is just a coach that has his number. I'll take Detroit 33-30. Now we've got Carolina at the Saints, and I'm taking Carolina flying colors here. I'm sorry, I know New Orleans, you just came off a big win. Well, this game, I think you guys are going to lose 30-10. Carolina's just playing red hot. Bryce Young is playing red hot. Saints probably deserve to have more than 10 points listed for him, but I believe that this is going to be a statement victory by Carolina. More of a middle finger to Tampa Bay, too. An aggressive middle finger, one that screams, hey, asshole, your time is ticking.
Hey junkies, it's the Fossil back with that second pick. The other two teams that I haven't previously picked are New Orleans and the Panthers. Panthers visiting the Saints. The Saints beat them 3-4 weeks ago. Carolina looking for some revenge. Carolina's record 7-6, I believe, and 4 of those losses have been to playoff teams. How they managed to lose to the Saints, I don't know, but they're probably even better than that record indicates. Going into New Orleans doesn't have a lot to play for. The Carolina Panthers do, is they can now win the division with Tampa Bay choking away that game this past weekend. I think that the difference in the game is probably going to be Bryce Young versus Shuck. I think Young goes and he has a better game than he did against them the first time around, and I don't think Shuck has as good a game. I look for him to shuck this game away, and the Panthers to come out of here with a 17-10 win. Take that to the bank. I'll look forward to seeing all you Wyatt's World junkies next week. Make sure you have a good week, and we'll see you then.
Now we have Tennessee at San Francisco. I'll take San Francisco 24-13. I do appreciate the spark we're starting to see out of Tennessee's offense right now, but I don't expect it to be consistent, and I don't expect them to win this game on any single aspect. I think they will get outplayed the entire time. I think McCaffrey is going to have a monster game. I think Kittle is going to have a pretty big game. And to anybody who is thinking about starting Tony Pollard in fantasy as like an emergency flex option this week, I think you are playing with fire. Which, by the way, I am also considering playing with that fire. I'm not gonna start him, but like I'm kind of thinking about it. You know, it's hard to not when a player just fucking does that, but at the same time, I'm not dumb. I don't think I'm dumb anyway. And now we've got Indy at Seattle with what I believe is going to be the return of Phillip Rivers as their quarterback, who hasn't played in 5 years. I don't think I've talked about that yet on this channel. That is fucking insane. Seattle is 13.5-point favorites here, and I think for good reason. I think Indianapolis is just going to get beat down. I think JT is going to be contained. I think even if Phillip Rivers does play, he is going to get his ass beat. This should be an easy Seattle victory. I would say 27-16. Phillip Rivers comes out and just scorches Seattle. That will be actually the craziest thing I have witnessed in my 29 years of existence. Now we've got Minnesota at Dallas for Sunday Night Football. I'll definitely take Dallas to win this one. We'll go 30-21. Not sure what to expect out of JJ, but Dallas's defense, as everybody knows, is just fucking horrible. The Vikings will find a way to get down the field and score. But I also think Brian Flores is going to do as much as he can before Dallas is just ultimately an aerial attack that Minnesota as a team, as the talent, just can't contain. And Monday night, we have the Dolphins at the Steelers. Was this not flexed? What the fuck? Take Pittsburgh to win 17-13. I think this game is going to be a snoozer. I think it's going to suck. I expect Tua to look cold. I expect Rodgers to look old. 3 years ago, this game would have been gold, where tickets would have actually been sold. People would actually be excited to sit in the front row. But what do you know? Both these teams blow. And that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen, for my Week 15 NFL predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, please show support if you did. You know I appreciate it. However, as always, I'm going to whip this video up so you guys can watch it on time. I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday if you live in Minnesota. I know I say this a lot, but please stay safe, man. It will not stop snowing. Anyway, take care, guys. I will see you in the next video.